You're listening to the Social Hub podcast, a place where we give small brands the skills and know-how to master all their social media, digital, and content marketing. I'm your host, Stacey Cranich, mum, champagne drinker, and self-confessed karaoke queen. Join me in a journey of real conversations and meaningful messages that will help you grow in your business and life, so you can have the most epic version of both. If you have a big vision and are ready to shine, then grab a cuppa or a cocktail and listen in. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Social Hub podcast. Today we're talking about the importance of a social media DMO. And for some of you, you may not even know what DMO stands for. Well, I'm going to share that with you along with why I believe it's super important to have one, and also an extra little treat for you guys to help you build one of your own. So first of all, what is a DMO? Well, DMO stands for Daily Method of Operation. It's a little bit of an acronym that I kind of got for all of my years working in corporate. And it really just stands for kind of like your blueprint for the things that you need to do every day. You can have them for anything really, for business, life, kids, chores, anything. It's basically just a list of things that are non-negotiables that need to happen on a regular and consistent basis. The reason I have dedicated an entire episode to this is that some of the questions that people come to me and ask me all the time, or that I see people asking in Facebook groups, and maybe you're one of these people, are these questions. What do I need to do every day, week, or month to execute my social media content? How do I make sure that it happens consistently? And what tools are good for this, and why do I need them? So today I'm going to give you the complete 411 Stacey style on creating a DMO for your socials. There is a lot of content in today's episode, guys, and I'm going to give you an opportunity now to pause this podcast, go and grab a piece of paper or a pen, or if you're listening in from the car or your daily walk or you're making dinner or wrangling the kids at the same time, then make sure you head to www.thesocialhubau.com/episode 2 to get the show notes for today's episode, because there is a lot to get through. So what we're going to be talking about today is the daily, weekly, and monthly tasks you need to complete. And if you stay to the end, then I promise you there is a little extra sweet treat just from me. So, like I said, if you aren't wrangling children or anything else, go grab a piece of paper or a pen, a cup of tea or a glass of wine, and let's get stuck into today's content. So part 1 of your social media DMO, I'm going to be going through for you guys the daily, weekly, and monthly tasks that you need to complete. So first of all, I want to clear something up. Now, social media is not a platform or a medium that you can just set and forget. You need to be consistent above all else. Now, let me just say that again for emphasis, and you'll hear me say this again for emphasis so many times over these episodes. You need to be consistent above all else. Content moves really quickly, and the recency part of the algorithm means that unless you are getting engagement coming out the wazoo, people won't see your content after a day or so. So yes, while you can schedule your content in advance, and I will talk more about that later, there are still daily tasks that are important you action to ensure that your socials are schmick. But also, further to the original point, a higher level planning will ensure that those tasks can even happen. So that is why I'm going to start with the monthly tasks and drill down to the daily tasks for you, so you can get a complete overview of what you're meant to be doing. Once a month, I think it's a great habit to get into, to sit down and get out whatever tool you like to use to plan with. Now, this doesn't have to be a convoluted, expensive online tool. I do use an online tool myself. I use a program called Trello, which is a project management software, which is a really visual platform because I'm an extremely visual person. And it has a free option, so you can start using it for free, and it's not overly expensive and it's really easy to get started. But you don't even have to do it online. A lot of my clients still get out the paper and the pen or the butcher's paper and a texter. It doesn't really matter so long as it's what works for you. But the main thing I want you to do here every month is to plan. So what you want to be doing is a few key things at the month level to ensure that you can plan for the most successful marketing month you can possibly have. So the first thing that's really important to do is to review the previous month's analytics and see what your results were like in terms of engagement, traffic, and growth, but also in terms of actual results in your business. Did your marketing efforts translate into anything? This will really help you analyze what you did last month and start to determine what is working for you in your marketing and what isn't. Now, I'll be dedicating an entire episode to analytics and tracking metrics, so definitely stay tuned for that. But as a starting point, if you are on Facebook, toggle to your insights and review your followers for growth metrics and your post tab to check out your post engagement rates. For Instagram, head to your insights and audience to tell you the increase in followers for the last week for growth. And under content, then next to feed posts, click see all, and it brings you to a menu that is preset to engagement for the last year. Change that to month, so the last 30 days, and it will show you your content in descending order of the most engaging post to the least. So you can see what has been popular with your audience and what has been the least engaging. Now, there is way more to analytics, and I promise you I will devote and get to that in an entire podcast episode. So there are things like reach, impressions, hashtags, and hashtag impressions, stories, analytics. But like I said, that is an episode for another time. So point 2 is you also need to check what is coming up in your business in the next coming month. Do you have peaks and troughs in your business that you need to account for, like school holidays, for example, that are a quieter time for me as my audience are predominantly mums and women with children. So I cater for that in my marketing. For example, I don't put out offers or launch things in school holiday times. Or perhaps maybe you're someone like a florist and it's February, and then Valentine's Day obviously would be really big for you. What this enables you to do by looking forward to the next month in your business is make sure that A, you are capturing anything you need to schedule in from a promotional point of view first, then you can plan your value content around that. And it also means that B, you are not creating content that is not aligned to what your ideal client need or are doing at that time. Now, I want to give you a little bit of an analogy that might help you understand this a little bit more. And you may have heard it before, but it is a really good one. It's the analogy of the rocks in the glass. So if you get given a glass and it's full of sand, rocks, pebbles, and all sorts of, little smaller bits of debris and whatnot, and then someone hands you 5 big rocks and asks you to fit them in, you literally cannot do that. It's impossible. So if you take everything out of the glass and then put the big rocks in first, then put your smaller rocks, your sand, and everything else in around it, it's easier to fit those big rocks in. It's the same when it comes to your business and your marketing. If you focus on all the little things that you need to be doing first, like an Instagram story or inspirational quote or something like that, you're not allowing for the big things that need to happen first, which is if you have something that you're launching or that you need to promote specifically that month, a sale or anything that's coming up in your business, or something that your ideal client is experiencing like school holidays that you need to account for. So put in the big rocks in your marketing first and then work all the other value stuff around it. Step 3 is to map out your content in an overview style for your Facebook, Instagram, email marketing, Facebook ads you need to run, Facebook group content or promos, blogs you want to write, videos you want to produce, live videos you want to schedule in, events you need to create, basically everything that you need to do that month. Now, you don't have to write each post. This isn't about writing the content now. This is actually about scheduling out the time and planning what content you need to create. So we're still in planning stage because step 4 is about scheduling the time to make it happen. So if you write blog posts every month, then make sure you schedule in time to write your blogs. Otherwise, they're not going to get written. It sounds really simple, guys, but planning this stuff out at the month level will ensure that it happens, and making it not negotiable will just transform your marketing to the absolute next level. So that is pretty much it for your month overview sorted. So to recap what you want to do at the month level, review last month's results and analyze them so you can make any changes or keep doing what's working. Plan for what is going on in your business so your content can reflect that. Map out your content in an overview style and then schedule in the time to make it happen. Now we're down to your weekly tasks. So once you have done your month's planning, it makes the week's activities a lot easier. You might spend 2 to 3 hours once a month planning, and trust me, it's well worth the time. So when you sit down to do your weekly tasks, you get out your month's plan, you go to the week you're working on, and this is where you take action. The reason I suggest that you do this at the weekly level is that to actually write content can be a laborious task, and it can be quite draining if you're trying to create a month's worth of content at once. When you do this consistently and regularly every single week, you can get your content creation even down to as small a time frame as 1 hour. But this is the time where you will source your images, write your captions, schedule in time for your Facebook Lives, write out your Facebook ads, schedule in any group content that you need to create, make some images for your stories, plan what you will share if you have a daily stories strategy. Then you would schedule all of this into your third-party scheduling app or direct into Facebook Creator Studio for Facebook and Instagram. You can see what I mean that by doing your month's plan, that this makes this weekly task a lot easier than sitting down and going, what the heck am I going to post this week? Or for some of you, you're probably still doing this daily, which means that your content's probably not actually happening. You will have a real strategy and structure to what you're doing with your content, and the investment in your time at the outset, you will really start to see paying off here at the week level. Onto the daily tasks. Now, again, I reiterate, it is important that you give your socials at least 10 minutes a day to do some crucial tasks that will help you keep being seen by your audience. But if you've done steps 1 and 2, then this could even take you 5 minutes in total. The daily actions that are important is number 1, making sure your content has actually posted. If you use a third-party app, tech can fail, and you want to make sure that yours hasn't done that for you. It sounds really simple, but I've heard so many times people say to me, I scheduled a week's worth of content and something went wrong and it didn't happen. You don't want that to happen to you. Number 2, engagement. Set aside 10 minutes a day to engage with your audience. This includes people that follow you, those that are engaging with you already, and those who have the same ideal client but are non-competing businesses, as this will get more eyes of your ideal client on you, not to mention build potential collaboration or referral partners. And also remember to reply to your DMs. This is really important as these people are actively wanting to connect with you. And lastly, Facebook groups that are relevant to you to engage in, whether it be to share a tip or search for questions that relate to your niche so you can interact. I'll be putting an entire episode about engagement together in the near future. So if this sounds confusing, hang tight. The last point on your daily actions is to ensure that you action any daily content that is relevant, like creating Instagram stories or posting them, posting an IGTV video. Some scheduling tools are getting up to speed with scheduling Insta stories, but if you're not using one of those, then these areas of the platform need to have a little bit of daily love. So there you have it, your complete DMO for monthly, weekly, and daily tasks that will help you action a content plan that supports your business and helps you execute it. Now, I did promise you something special if you stayed to the end. So here it is. I have got a bunch of social media workflows in PDF format as a checklist in my Social Hub shop. For anyone listening to today's episode, they are yours for free. And what they have got in there is the full monthly, weekly, and daily tasks in a PDF checklist format that you can download. I also have a complete Trello system for social media management, complete with boards you can copy, workflows for all your social management, places where you can store all of your images and important business stuff, and video tutorials to show you how to use the system. If you aren't using any project management software yet, then I can highly recommend you download this program. It comes with a few of my other digital products for free, like editable post templates and a social media style guide. All you need to do to get the free checklists or to grab the Trello system is to head to www.thesocialhubau.com/episode 2 to find today's show notes and the links, plus the codes to download all of this for free or get your Trello system offer. And I so cannot wait to see how organized you all become with your socials. And as previously mentioned in my previous episode, if you leave me a review, please make sure you pop your Insta handle in the review or screenshot it and send it to me at _social_hub. Then I will give you and your business a shout out in one of my upcoming podcast episodes. Until then, guys, stay classy. Thanks for listening to the Social Hub podcast. You can find the show notes for today's episode over at all the W's, thesocialhubau.com/podcast. And if you want to join me in my community and continue the conversation, jump over to Facebook and join the Social Media 101 Facebook group. Until then, stay classy.